brought home today. Isn't she beautiful? I found her at Home Goods and I could not pass her up. I would just instantly fell in love and said, oh yeah, you belong in my garden. I didn't know that Martha Stewart Home made giant fairies. How cool is that? Huh. Let's go find a place for her in the garden. Okay, I'm standing inside the moon gate right now, and I think I found a good spot for her. You know me, I'll probably end up playing around and setting her in different places, but I thought this is a good little place right here. Isn't she pretty? I love how she just glistens in the sunlight. Oh my goodness. I'm so glad I got this fairy. She's so pretty. I've got some more inside. I'm gonna show you what I got. Right now, Home Goods is just got fairies everywhere. Oh my goodness. Talk about Temptation City going into that store right now. I got so many fairies, but they're really affordable and they're a really good price. But let's go inside and I'll show you which ones I ended up getting to put here in the garden. Okay, here is what I picked up at Home Goods yesterday. Aren't these absolutely beautiful? They were literally only like $20 each, except I think this one is a little bit bigger. It was a little bit more expensive. Let's see, yeah, this one was 40. So that one was 40, but the others are only $20 each. And I just feel like that's such a good deal for like the detail. Isn't this one precious? I think this is probably my most favorite one. So cute. And then there's this one where she's kissing a frog or about to kiss a frog. And these are all lightweight. This is cast resin. And this one I feel like is super representational of my garden channel, Summer Moon Garden. Isn't that so precious? Oh, I love it. And then I thought this one would be neat. Like you could like put a crystal in there or some pebbles. So pretty. And then of course I couldn't pass these up either. They had some other designs there too, but I couldn't get them all. But these were my favorites. And then last but not least, this sweet little girl here. Just love all the detail. She's so pretty. Okay, I wanted to show you my fairy display inside because I originally had purchased this big fairy girl here to put her out in the garden. And once I got her, I was like, oh my goodness, this is way too nice to be putting out in the garden. This was a more expensive fairy, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I just can't really stomach the thought of putting this one out there and it getting ruined by the elements. So I decided to just hold off and keep her inside because just look how gorgeous she is. Love that beautiful detail. And she was just, you know, a little too expensive to be putting her outside. So she's my inside fairy, where she can stay protected, or, you know, she might go out on the front porch at some point, but honestly, I'm loving this indoor fairy decor. Look at that cute thing, those cute things. I got those from Hobby Lobby. Isn't that adorable? And this came from Amazon. It was a pretty expensive piece. And then I've got my, you know, Blue Fairy book here and a story of the Root Children. When my kids were younger, I was really into Waldorf I don't know if you guys heard of that teaching style, but it really fascinated me, and I thought it was pretty cool and a gentle way to parent, or not really parent, but more of like a gentle education. So when they were, you know, like babies and toddlers, I loved reading all these types of stories like that because they're really focused on Waldorf teaching style and whatnot. So yeah, that's where that's from when my kids were babies. And then I have this little section over here where most of this is from Hobby Lobby as well. They have the cutest little fairy decor there. Here's another little section in my home where I've got fairies. I did a whole fairy decor theme this year, but I found this fairy, I believe this one I found at Home Goods a couple months ago, which I absolutely adore this one. This one actually reminds me of the Never Ending Story movie, which was a big thing when I was a kid in the 80s. And here's my other fairy girl that I got on Amazon. She was an expensive one too, where I had ended up deciding she's gonna be an indoor fairy, but she's got such pretty wings and her hair. I just love it. But I had, you know, I'd gotten these and I was like, oh my gosh, they're just so nice. I don't want them to get ruined outside. And I was like, you know what? Why not do fairy decor inside? I can do whatever I want. It's my house, right? So I can decorate with whatever I want inside. So then I decided to just go all out with this whole fairy theme. And then over here in our entertainment center, this is the decor I've got going on. Little fairy artwork and flowers and more little fairy figurines. Then we have some little Easter bunnies up here. And then a lot of flowers up top. You can see, I don't know if y'all recognize those flowers up top. Those are all from my Christmas tree. So all these flowers around here, you see, these are all from my Christmas tree. So they're getting use year round, which is really nice. I'm liking that idea of getting use out of them all the time, and then instead of having to store them in the basement. But here is all the little fairy decor we've got going on inside the house. And then I also found this little girl here at Home Goods a couple months ago as well. She is so cute. And they have such good deals there. Oh, and then this is a pretty little frame of a hydrangea that my mother-in-law gave me several years back. So I brought that one back out to use by the fireplace. I almost forgot to show you this fairy here. This is the first fairy I ever purchased. I think it was a Mother's Day gift from my mom several years back. And I just love her. I think I named her Autumn. Yeah, pretty sure I named her Autumn. She's one of my favorites. And then over here, my sister-in-law gave this to me several years ago, and I just love her. She's sitting on top of a rosebud. Isn't she so cute? While I'm out here, I can show you my heirloom roses that just arrived. They've been here sitting on the porch for a couple of days, just letting them sit in the shady spots to get acclimated to being out of the box. This is Moonlight in Paris, and I've got 5 of them. And then there's also a Joan Fontaine, which is right here. And then this one is Madame Plantier. So I got myself an old rose for a change. And these over here are the Moonlight in Paris. Look at you, Phoenix. You looking so regal. You're looking so regal, buddy. Hi. Hi, baby. There is so much to do today, especially with Easter on Sunday. I got these roses. They're called Pink O'Hara from Grace Rose Farm. They were just delivered yesterday, and I haven't arranged them yet. They're just kind of hanging out in here. I'm waiting for them to open up just a little bit more. Oh, this one's sagging a bit. I have to figure that one out. But I'm going to arrange them once I get the whole Easter table set up and we get this picture. Isn't this a beautiful picture of my daughter when she was little? We have to get it hung up here on the wall. So we have a nice little trio of pictures there. But yeah, this is one of my favorite roses. Pink O'Hara. It's so beautiful. And I'm using like a robin's egg blue tablecloth for Easter. So I'm getting white vases to go with that instead because the dark blue doesn't really go with the tablecloth that I'm using. So yeah, I'm excited to get this set up today. And you know what? I also need to put those fairies out. Let's do that real quick too. All these fairies, I'm gonna go ahead and set them out in the garden. So it's going to officially be a fairy garden. Okay, so I'm doing my best to tuck these little fairies in between plants, so it's kind of like a little game of hide and seek, trying to find the fairies. I think this is a good spot for this one. Here's another one. I got her pretty close to the moon gate here. So she'll be probably one of the first fairies you see when you walk through the moon gate. Okay, let me show you where I ended up putting them all. Here is the first one, just right by the pathway. Here is Luigi, sweet little boy. Here's my favorite one. I absolutely adore it. It's so precious. And then here is another one hiding underneath the hostas. And then we've got this one back here. And then the larger fairy over there. And then I've got this beautiful little girl right here, which I'll probably go inside and get some crystals to put in her little bowl. And then the moon fairy is back right here for now. And you know me, I'll probably end up moving them around and playing around with them, and we may change places every now and then. But we are having an Easter egg hunt out here, and I really wanted to get the fairies out here for the Easter egg hunt because it just makes it so magical. So all right, as you can see, I was in the middle of watering and then I got distracted and decided to go put the fairies out. So I'm gonna finish watering my roses in. I just sprinkled Maxi at the base, so I need to go ahead and water in, and then I think I'm done out here, and then I can go inside and start getting the Easter dinner table set and ready for this weekend. While I'm watering my roses in, this is top cream. I gotta show you, look at this. Look at all those buds. How exciting is that? This top cream, there's actually 3 of them right here. These I planted a couple years ago, and they're own root roses, and they really took some time to get big. So don't fret if you have own root, just give it time, and you're gonna be rewarded with a beautiful rose bush in the long run. Look at that big cane coming up right there. Isn't that awesome? This is definitely the most buds that I've seen on Top Cream so far. So I'm super excited about that. Oh, and then look at my peonies that are just starting to open up. This one is called Petite Elegance. Isn't that beautiful? All the peonies are about to open up. Oh, and look at this too. Sweet Spirit. I thought that I was gonna lose this one. It did terribly last year. I almost dug it up, but I just didn't have the time and I left it, and I'm glad I did because it sure did make a comeback. So sometimes it pays to just be patient and wait and see how it does. I think this one is also own root, which might be why it was slow to start. Here's another rose that I thought I was gonna lose last year. It's called Sweet Flow. It came to me in pretty bad shape from Grace Rose Farm. It was back when they were having their issues with their rose grower. But this has really rebounded big time. I mean, it's covered in buds. So I'm really excited to see this one bloom very, very soon. And here's La Perla. Biggest buds I've ever seen. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited to see this one bloom. I've got 4 right up front here. And they are just loaded down with the biggest buds. So exciting. All right, so I got most of the dining room all set and ready for Easter. I'm just gonna be working on the flower arrangements tomorrow because the white vases arrive tomorrow from Amazon. And so once I get those all assembled, I'll put them on the table here. And then I have other fresh flowers that I'm going to put in this vase as well. So we don't have fake flowers in here for Easter. Not that it really matters. It's just fun to have flowers in here. Fake flowers are fine, obviously, because I have them all over my house. But went with a Peter Rabbit theme here. I am a huge Peter Rabbit fan, Beatrix Potter fan. I absolutely adore just all that type of decor. And so I've got that set up, and then I got all my silver polish today. I feel so accomplished. This is it's called Old Atlanta. This is what I got. God, I can barely read that anymore. Wallace Sterling. I need glasses, y'all. Wallace Sterling. The design is called Old Atlanta, and it's so beautiful. It's one of my favorites. Such a pretty sterling silver set. So yeah, and Jeff helped me fill the Easter eggs for putting out in the garden. I'm going to be putting some little special prizes in the gold ones. And we got the picture frames up. Isn't that great? For some reason, that one had fallen off and broken. And so finally we got it fixed. So everything looks nice and put together finally. I feel like the dining room area has been in disarray for quite some time. So it's looking nice again. It feels good to get it all put together. It's been a while since I've had a fancy dinner in here. So I am really looking forward to Easter. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing all the fairy decor. I know I'm super excited to get it all out in the garden. It's been a long time coming, a long time dream for me to really deck it out with fairies and make it super magical feeling. And I'm so glad that I was able to get it done just in time for Easter, for the Easter egg hunt that we're going to be doing this weekend. And I really hope you guys have a wonderful holiday weekend, and please like and subscribe. in the next couple of weeks, there's going to be so many blooms, so many roses blooming, and I really don't want you guys to miss that. So make sure that you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on that. I'm going to title it The Grand Garden Tour of Roses for 2025. That way you guys won't be missing out on any blooms this year. But I hope you enjoyed this video and can't wait to see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.